What's going on, YouTube? It's the Masked Man here today for another movie review. Today I am reviewing the movie called Saving Mr. Banks. The premise of this movie, as read directly off of imdb.com, author P.L. Travers reflects on her childhood after reluctantly meeting with Walt Disney, who seeks to adapt her Mary Poppins books for the big screen. I am not, hopefully I am not, going to spend a whole lot of time talking about this movie, because there really isn't much to say about this movie. What I will say is that when I saw the previews for the movie, I thought it was going to be better than it turned out to be. Because some lady being rude, insulting, some British lady or some lady with some kind of an accent, insulting a bunch of people on her work and trying to get them to get her projects right. You know, it makes for an entertaining story. And it certainly didn't have a bad cast. It had Emma Thompson as P.L. Travers. It had Tom Hanks as Walt Disney. It had Colin Farrell. It had Ruth Wilson, and it had Paul Giamatti. And Paul Giamatti, I have never seen a movie where I did not like him in. One of my favorite movies that I will try to review, you know, if I will probably go back to the library and see if they still have American Splendor. It's really one of my favorite all-time movies. It's like the movie is just excellent, and Paul Giamatti is playing a guy who wrote comics, and I don't remember it well enough to do it off the top, but I will try to do that movie review. But I'm digressing because there's not a lot to say about this movie. If I could sum up this whole movie in one word, it would be flashbacks. Flashbacks. If you do not like flashbacks, you will hate this movie more than you've probably ever hated anything in your life. This movie had flashback after 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 flashback. It was a lot of flashbacks. I understand that you got a big name actor, you know, playing her father, and you want to milk that for all it's worth. I even understand how you are laying the foundation for what the Mary Poppins story is based on, and that you are giving some indication of why P.L. Travers is the way that she is, and why she's so protective of her stories, and why she doesn't want people manipulating them in the wrong way, why she wants people respecting them. I get it on some level, but there was so many flashbacks that it became obnoxious. It was like I really like grown up P.L. Travers, and after a certain point I understood enough of where Colin Farrell's character was going. I knew enough to know, okay, he's bad with money. He can't hold a job. He's a drunk. He's gonna get sick and die. I get it. I understand. You don't need to give me so many flashbacks. I feel like they could have done a lot more with less flashbacks. They could have focused more on adult PL Travers. They could have made the flashbacks tie into the story that they were having better. It was a movie that really frustrated me, and it really took me out of the movie. It really just made me. It was a movie that I almost shut off, to be honest with you, because it just wasn't fun watching it. The most fun part of the movie kept getting cut out because we had to do another flashback, because we had to keep getting flashbacks. I couldn't get into the flow or the cadence of the movie. It's like as soon as I think I'm getting into the movie, they cut it off and they give me a flashback. So I'm just gonna say that I don't know what you thought about this movie. I don't know if you liked this movie or if you did not like this movie. But if you have not seen this movie, this is not a movie that you want to see. It's not. God damn. It's not something that you really want to waste your time on. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for my rating system, because I got a little bit of a different rating system because I'm not a qualified movie critic. I rate shit on watchability, not on good or bad, because I'm not qualified to rate things as good or as bad. But from now on, I'm going to make sure that I get this shit together before I turn on the camera. But if you haven't surmised from what I've been saying, this is a movie that's barely watchable. If you must see this movie, then see it. I'm not going to give it my lowest rating of do not watch it. Because, there were good actors. I mean, Emma Thompson was good. She was enjoyable in the movie as PL Travers. I did like some of the banter that she had, but just as a movie, there were elements of the movie that were good. Giamatti delivered. Tom Hanks delivered. Even Colin Farrell, he delivered in his role. But just the whole thing, how it worked together, it wasn't fun to watch as a movie. If it was like half of the movie was in the past and then half of it was in the present, that would have been fine. Or half of it in the present and the middle, and a piece of it in the present, then a middle of it in the past, then the rest in the present. If it would have been like, if I could have just made it through all the way through, if it would have been smooth, I would have been fine with it. But it wasn't smooth. So this movie is barely watchable. If you have not seen this movie already, this is a movie that you should only check out if you must see this particular story. If you have to see everything done by Tom Hanks, or everything done by Emma Thompson, or everything done by Colin Farrell, it's one of those types of movies. If you didn't have any interest in seeing Saving Mr. Banks beforehand, there's no reason that you should check it out. It's a movie with a lot of flashbacks that have decent performances from the actors, but don't really give you any real good information that you wouldn't get, that you wouldn't do better getting through Google. It doesn't give you an entertaining presentation. So that's my opinion on it. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did you like Saving Mr. Banks? Did you think it was a good movie? Did you enjoy the flashbacks? Rate the video, like it, dislike it, leave comments, subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions for me, if you want if you want me to review anything or you want me to know about anything, send me an email at mrmassmansbusiness@gmail.com. That's Mr. Massmans with an S, no apostrophe, business dot at gmail.com. That's all I have to say for today. This is a pretty short video for me. That's all I have to say, and I will see you in the next video.